The clump of cells argument is fucking stupid. If you want to say that they're not conscious, or that they can't think, or that they can't choose, or whatever, that's one thing. But the clump of cells, everybody is a clump of cells. What in the fuck are you talking about? That's just a clump of cells. It's a tumor. Then so are you dumb bitch.
Subscribe to this channel. In case you are watching this channel and have not subscribed.
First, I want to start off by saying I disagree with everything you say. Black Lives Matter, stop Asian hate, and leave trans people alone. Here's my question. Why do you weaponize...
What did I say about the Asians? I don't think I said anything about Asians.
Listen to my question. Why do you weaponize religion to justify your subjective opinions?
How do you think I've done that?
You say that God says, oh, there's men, there's a woman, and just leave that as that. Like, you don't represent religion because we don't live in a country where you can be pure based on your religion. Like, you sin, everyone sins, if we can understand that. So trying to weaponize that against people and try to limit their rights because of what you think God said, God didn't speak to you. You don't know.
God does.
Bro, it's biology. It's XY chromosomes and XX chromosomes. It is in our bones. There is no argument to that. There is a male species and a female species, just like most animals, most reptiles, most fish, most everything. There's usually a male and a female, unless there are some instances where it is the male and the female and they reproduce with themselves by splitting up and like stuff like that. But those are fucking aliens. But humans, we are male and female. It comes down to our chromosomes. If you take a sample from our bones, you can figure out what gender a species is. Does that work with asexual people too? I know that is a very not asexual people, intersex, where they have both a penis and a vagina. Do they have XY and XX chromosomes too? I would assume so, right? But regardless, those are those are birth defects. Those are not things that you are normally born with. If you are born that way, you are considered abnormal. A normal human, a normal male and a normal female. That is how we are. Doobie from the future here. I was just Googling the stuff I was talking about to make sure that I wasn't talking on my ass about this intersex shit. And it turns out that you can be born with XX chromosomes, XY chromosomes, or XXY chromosomes if you're intersex, which doesn't really make sense to me, but the chromosomes don't really make sense to me at all anyways. And then I also Googled, is intersex a birth defect? And it says intersex variations are not abnormal and should not be seen as a birth defect. They are natural biological variations and occur in up to 1.7% of all births. And I was thinking, okay, well, if it's not abnormal, 1.7% sure seems abnormal to me. So I Googled definition of abnormal. And it says abnormal, deviating from what is normal or usual, typically in a way that is undesirable or worrying. So then I was thinking, okay, well, if only 1.7% of births are intersex, then that don't really sound normal to me. But all right, well, maybe it's just not a birth defect. So I Googled what is considered a birth defect. It says birth defects are structural changes present at birth that can affect almost any part or parts of the body. They may affect how the body looks, works, or both. Birth defects can vary from mild to severe. And I don't know, maybe I just don't know much about it, but if you're born with both genitals or if you have variations of the stuff, that definitely affects how your body works and also how it looks. So I don't know, maybe I'm just not reading it right, or maybe I'm just dumb. If y'all want to explain it to me down below, that's cool. But to me, it just sounds like Google's just trying to be woke, like usual. But I just wanted to let y'all hear everything that I just researched, let y'all think about it, and if you want to, comment it down below, let me know. But let's get back to the video.
Speaks to me, and he speaks to all of us, and we can read his word in the Bible, and we can go to church. No, that is true. So what you're objecting to is that I've quoted the Bible, and I've said right there in the early chapters of Genesis, in the beginning God made man, both male and female created he them. And you're saying, Michael, why would you weaponize religion that way? But what have I done? All I've done is just quoted the Bible, and I'd be happy to have a conversation about 2,000 years of church history on this subject, and I'm happy to have a conversation about even pre-biblical or extra-biblical sources on it, on the hylomorphic nature of the human being. I'm happy to do that. That's not a weapon against any people, that's a weapon against falsehood. And so the only way in which I would turn religion into a weapon is against the devil, and that's what we all have to do, because religion is a habit of virtue that renders to God what he deserves. That's the meaning of the word religion. And so I'm just reading the text, and I'm practicing the faith, and I'm telling you what the faith has said for 2,000 years. And you might reject it, but I think that it's true. I think religion is true. And you might think that it's false, and you might have a different set of beliefs. But one of us is, at the very most, one of us is going to be right. And so at the very least, one of us is going to be wrong. And I just happen to be correct about this.
See, I was about to say whenever he started that point that I wish that he didn't like fight the argument with religion. But I get where he was going with that now, because he was saying like, that's my belief, just like how your belief is your belief. But it's just so easy to, I guess it's not easy to argue, but it's just as easy to argue as these motherfuckers, because it's a belief, it's what they believe, you know. You can't argue with what someone believes. You can't argue with what someone believes with beliefs. You can argue with facts, but you can't argue beliefs with beliefs, because then you both just look crazy as fuck. But I get where he was going with that. He was just trying to say like, it's what I believe, just like what you believe. So how the fuck you gonna tell me? I guess it is kind of like backwards. How are you going to tell her that she's wrong whenever it's just a belief, but she's trying to tell you that you're wrong whenever it's just a belief? Like that they just cross each other out. You can't, there's no proof there. But if he is saying like, he's right and I know I'm right because science says the same thing, then that would make more sense. But we gonna see.
You know, I can respect the confidence, but it's just purely delusion. Okay, I
don't think Christianity is delusional.
I respect religions, I respect people's rights, but trying to limit someone's rights by saying, well, I believe that God said this, so I'm gonna block you from doing this, like abortion. People get raped, people get incest, and it's crazy 0.5%. Traumatic situations. And it's very hard for a human to ask a human, oh, keep that baby because God said to. That is impossible.
Do you think it's hard do you think it's hard to ask someone, hey, don't murder an innocent person, even if you want to, even if that would be convenient? Because that's what we're saying about
because our fundamental beliefs are different. I don't think it's murder. I think it's that thing in the baby, not the baby, but the uterus.
You just said it. I think you just admitted that I'm right. That's called a Freudian slip.
A Freudian slip. I don't know what that is. I want to look it up.
Okay, chill out. But the thing in the uterus is not a baby. That's what I was trying to say. It's just a clump of cells. It's a tumor. Okay.
It's a tumor.
And trying to be like, it's a baby. We just have fundamentally different belief systems, and I don't believe that. No, I don't think it's murder. It's not murder.
Right, but
bro, and that clump of cells is so fucking annoying. I am a clump of cells. She or it, they, them, he, her, babe, they, whatever the fuck. Whatever the fuck identified as whatever is a clump of cells. He is a clump of cells. Everybody is a clump of cells. The clump of cells argument is fucking stupid. If you want to say that they're not conscious, or that they can't think, or that they can't choose, or whatever, that's one thing. But the clump of cells, everybody is a clump of cells. What in the fuck are you talking about? That's just a clump of cells. It's a tumor. Then so are you dumb bitch.
But the baby unlike a tumor, say, the baby in the womb, it has the DNA of an individual human being that's different from the DNA of the mother, and the baby in the womb has all the characteristics of human life, and the baby in the womb grows, at a very early stage, grows to take on the form of an individual human being, and the baby in the womb, left unmurdered, will grow into a full adult-sized human being, just like you are. So that would seem to be a difference between the baby in the womb and the cancerous tumor. So you're saying, well, I just don't believe that, but you obviously do believe that, because you just admitted it, because you called.
I hate whenever people get into debates and then in the middle of the person talking, they just start looking around, start talking to other people, like trying to make it obvious that they're not listening because they don't care, when in reality they're just trying to run from the truth because it will make their whole ideology, every single thing that they believe in, fall and crumble. It's so cowardly to me.
The baby a baby. You don't want to acknowledge that reality because it's inconvenient. And I'm not denying that there are inconveniences in the world, and there's suffering, and there are all sorts of difficult decisions that people have to make, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a right and a wrong answer, and it doesn't even mean that you don't know what it is, because you've admitted that you know what it is.
Another thing is, like, they love to talk about this is a clump of cells, a tumor. The heart starts beating at 1 month. You can get an abortion after that. You can get an abortion, in New Mexico, you can get it up past 30 weeks. That's fucking crazy, man. 30 weeks. That baby is almost born. If you guys watch my stuff, you know that my stance on abortion isn't like solid. I'm still learning about everything, but my stance as of right now is that abortion is wrong after the heart starts beating. And before the heart starts beating, I think it as long as it can be just taken out by a pill, I assume that it's just the same as a morning after pill. I'm not sure. I've asked before, no one's commented anything to argue with that, so my opinion still stands. But if someone wants to tell me down below, I'm all ears. But my opinion is you can get an abortion as long as it's as long as it's quick, like 2 to 3 weeks into you being pregnant, and you can take the pill to get it out. But once you have to start having these like procedures where they go in and take the baby out and take the limbs off and the disgusting procedures that are done to babies with limbs, like fuck that fetus shit, bro. These motherfuckers got limbs like they are a human species. That is just sick as fuck to me, and people choose to ignore that shit just so that they can live in their head without any guilt. And I get it, but it's wrong as fuck. Oh, that was the end of the video. Well, good thing I had that little rant. But that's the end of that video. If you got anything to say about the video, let me know down below. You know, I'm open to debate on this. I want to learn more about the conversation or about the topic. So if you guys have any information, any sources, any videos to watch, let me know down below. And if you can, and if you will, and if you fuck with your boy, will y'all please give me a subscription. With that said, doses.
I won't speak up on it, but that's just how it's supposed to be. She thinks she leeching proudly, but she won't get nothing from me. Say you let me, I doubt it. I'll fuck around and pay the fee. It's a whole lot of hate up in your eyes, and I can see it.
Hate all in your eyes, and you've been praying on my downfall.